Dude, Charlie the Steak is something I've been thinking about a lot in my personal life. Dude, what is this freaking monstrosity meaty Michael is calling looking gentleman so distinguished? Very demure, very cutesy, very, he's got a nice design, dude. I like the vein going down his meat shaft. A nice cut of beef, you could say. He's a freaking lost iPhone game, I guess, that has been, brought back. Much like Flappy Bird, I suppose. You could freaking roll the clip. So it's like Talking Tom meets Kick the Buddy. That's fucking fire, dude. That's like the best of both worlds. Am I a sicko? Or does he deserve it? Look at him.
Pretty gory.
Look at his cunning, smug bastard face.
Have disturbed a couple of people. Pretty gory and disturbing.
A lot of you guys have been asking me to play this game. I don't have it, or I have access to it, unless it's freaking online or something. But dude, we're gonna react to Charlie the Steak and the World of Lost Torture Apps by Marco Cat. See what this is all about, dude. I think this is gonna cover a few different games in this video.
Before the video begins, I want to remind you that I'm not a native English speaker. I'm Italian, so excuse me if I have an accent or
okay, bet.
mispronounce words. Now the video can begin.
I'll try not to make fun. This is badass. What is this? It's Charlie! He bit my finger!
We know Charlie the Stick. He has been appearing everywhere lately.
He's
Looking
beautiful!
closely at the stick, we immediately notice that
Five Nights at Freddy's.
That is awesome! And based and real.
Stop playing! I've got the Versace's on! Stop playing!
Charlie.
it has an aura surrounding it. The graphic style, especially, reminds us of that magical time of the iPhone 4 and 5 App Store, full of
really
exclusive
does.
and super
A simpler time, before the battle pass.
advanced apps, but almost always paid for. In fact, Charlie the Stick came out in June 2013 as an iPhone exclusive. I
Whoa,
think the app
what that tongue do?
has gone viral lately. Not only
Besides
because
too
of
much.
its mysterious and gore nature, but also because it reminds us of something we all experienced in our childhood. That is, all the other torture apps made in the same way,
Kick the Buddy?
with the same mysterious
My Little Pony, but under a
and gore nature released in those years that are stuck in our memory, but which we
Ragdoll
had
something or
forgotten
other?
anyway. So get ready,
Pocket Voodoo, dude. That looks exactly like Kick the Buddy, but
because we are
scarier.
about to see and explore all of them. Almost.
I guess that I'm confused again.
I certainly am. This
10
isn't
years
torture.
ago,
This is
especially
anime,
more
but I understand how
relevant.
you got them
Maybe
confused.
it's because I was a kid.
It's Minion
and
Man.
In school it was mainly about phone games. And maybe it's the same now, but it's simply me growing up. Anyway, we all spent hours scrolling throughout the pages of the Play Store or App Store, hoping to find an alternative to Action Movie FX. And
Hell
we would
yeah.
find weird apps like Charlie the Stick. It was created by a company called DynamicDust. The content of the game has been described by some people as quite gory and disturbing. It's essentially an app where we have to torture a humanoid stick to score points and unlock other things. But the animations especially are done in a semi-photorealistic 3D that disturbed a lot of people. There are many
It's a game about beating your meat up. Not so
scenes
disturbing.
that
Come
I'm
on.
forced to censor, and there was even a gambling mode to earn more
Let's
meatballs.
go!
Meatballs that are
Ahead
the
of its
point of the
time.
game. Essentially, you tortured the stick until you unlocked more
Is
and
that a
more
battle
new
pass?
You can see how the whole style of the game screen, even the boxes in the menu and the fonts of the lettering, make us think of an iPhone 3G. All iPhone apps of that time had
Makes
this
me want to lick the screen, and then maybe I'll be licking the screen while Charlie's licking the screen, and then we'll be licking the screen at the same time for both sides, dude.
It was
You can't quite
categorized as
touch 'em, but
lost
you're right
media,
there.
because in 2015 the game disappeared from the store along with the DynamicDust company.
Why is he twitching
There
like
were
that?
only
He tweaking.
screenshots left, and a lot of people were
Whoa, that is a little much. Holy, he's reaching his eyeball out, dude.
starting
Why
to
does he even
remember
have
this
that? He's a
game.
steak.
Honestly, I remembered seeing it somewhere too. Then gameplay videos went viral on TikTok,
Oh god, evilcharlie.exe, that is even
and
scarier.
people finding the game on their old phones, but they were almost always fake or fan-made games that
Bruh.
recreated the original game.
Who do
Thanks
I
to
believe?
Reddit, people were able to get this to one of the developers of the game, who responded on Reddit saying what was the process of creating the app. Nothing that.
I'm the developer of Charlie the Steak. Let's figure out what to do with the brain rot. What the fuck? So they're like trying to take charge of the sudden popularity of their classic character that didn't take off at the time, but because it was so ahead of its time, dude. Gambling.
In particular, he also
People
added
didn't
that
catch
he will
on how
try
cool
to
that was back
republish
then.
the app on the App Store via a developer account, and after some time, here it is. The original app again online and available to download. But again, the game is sadly taken down now, and it will soon be back up, however, with a lot of fixes. So the case is finally solved. But this is just the beginning, or the tip of the iceberg, because back then it was full of these torture apps. Let's call them something like this. Surely in our memories you have one of these apps.
Yeah, dude, these apps or these types of games have always existed. Even back in the day, there was one on freaking Flash Interactive, buddy. Hell yeah, it's basically the same thing, but people have always been interested in beating people up, I guess. See, you get a little money for beating up your funny little man. I'm a sicko! I'm a sicko! Doesn't hit the same as Charlie, though. Let's hear about Beat the Boss, dude. I played that freaking one before. Roll the clip.
To use the weapon, attack him. Get on, dude. I'll slap you. I'll slap you silly. Judging by those speech bubbles, you can't breathe fast enough because it's already gone. Dude, Joe, you know me too well. You can purchase other weapons from the menu. Dude, I know. Trust me, I know. I'm beating my boss senseless. I don't even have a boss. I don't even know who you are. I actually do. You're the guy from the other games that I've played with you in them. Interesting, right?
This looks futuristic, though. Where do you work? Oh, it's Sonic. That's why.
Beat the Boss 1.
Back to
I
the
remember
past.
playing in 2012 on an iPhone 3. Seeing these images again made me jump out of my chair. I had totally forgotten
My
about
boss!
this game.
I was
which
working, I
is
swear!
apparently now lost.
It's been
Sure,
10
you can
years.
download an APK.
I'm still getting
but
paid,
it's
right?
not the first game.
I like the
apparently.
idea of having your boss all chained up in the basement with an AK-47, couple of grenades. The BDSM, they're into
However,
it.
doing
They're
further
consenting adults.
research, realized-
Obviously, there's a conflict of interest because he's on the payroll and this company is going to get a little dicey for getting your emotions involved with people that you're working with, but freaking, that's their problem, honestly. I don't
Problem
work
right
there.
away. The name. The APK of
Name
the game is
I've-
called Beat the Boss, but when we download it, it changes name to Kick the Boss.
Kick
and
the
even
Boss.
searching old videos on YouTube, in some the name is Kick the Boss, and in other
Really?
videos it is Beat the Boss.
I do not ever remember it being Kick the Boss, but maybe it's like one of those Howie Mandela effects, dudes.
But why? Searching online, you can't find much information about this app. But apparently two versions came out in 2012. One called Beat the Boss HD, available only on iPhone and iPad.
Alright,
and this is
alright.
the lost version. And another one called Kick the Boss for iPhone and Android. Then we can see that due to the success of the first game, they subsequently made many more chapters. You can see them. On YouTube you can still find one of the first trailer, and the developers of the game is Hive Corporation, which still develops mobile games today. And the game was simple. Joe is your boss who constantly insults you. Then exactly like Charlie the Steak, we can torture him with weapons that are...
I don't know if you
unlocked
could say honestly that it's exactly like Charlie the Steak. I mean, freaking, it's quite literally a whole human man, not just a motionless piece of food that shouldn't be talking to me.
Hey.
And meanwhile, this guy deserves it. It's a completely different situation. It's borderline self-defense. I'm just saying. My actions are defensible, and Beat the Boss is goated. Next. Yeah, tell me about the pony game.
2016, and is exactly what it sounds like. You play as Happy
Was this a mobile game? This seems like a special
if you know them,
genre of game I've never seen.
That you can customize, and from there you can talk to, torture, heal, and or
This must have been on some dark web
let them go.
jailbreak
There's
bullshit.
even
Or
others out
Android.
there,
Even
including
worse.
one where you adopt a baby pony and raise it, but you can choose to
You can make
abuse
it bald!
and starve it. However, I didn't find this game.
This one seems the most sickening and wrong. I'm out of here. Torture Bunny.
Years ago on the Reddit thread, tip of and no longer find it on the App Store. The reason may be pretty obvious. You have to torture an helpless bunny doll.
Yeah,
you can
right.
use 50 different weapons to do this, and when you open the cage, your goal
Ain't
is
no way.
literally to torture the poor thing for as long as you can.
Oh,
and then
he's a ragdoll bunny, though. He's not an
you
animal.
make him fall on
He's
them. The music annoyingly
flanimal.
loops, and the scream of
A
torment
flailing
the
animal.
bunny emits
It's
will make you
funny.
downright embarrassed.
He just looks a little sad, but it's funny for
to play this
sadistic
game in public.
bastards.
The reviews are pretty positive about the gameplay, but there are a few complaints about the physics, described as unpredictable, and even the greatest trap setup can be ruined as
Yeah,
the
I mean, most of this looks like clip art. Looks pretty shit. I can't lie.
cruelty, but I don't think it's like that. There is no blood, and the bot seems to be more like a crash test ragdoll. The game is
Yeah.
obviously playful and
And he was in
cartoonish.
jail, which implies that he's a bad person to begin with, and not a person, and it's probably permissible.
Let me now explain. In my memory, there are two such games that I will never forget. One was a game for Nintendo DS, where we could torture Daffy Duck in some many ways with the stylus and with minigames.
What?
It was probably Looney Tunes Duck Emak, and I'm not sure if it was exactly this game. Anyway, the other
Interesting.
game that I will never forget has been totally lost. I tried for years to find it and couldn't find it. Unfortunately, as a kid, I will just play the games without knowing the title of the game. These tortured games, because of this mechanic, seems more real than other games. However, one or two times I had managed to, I don't know how, to unlock a second level, and this time the man was in a white space with transparent cubes, I think. I don't remember very well.
Clearly, these violent video games affect everybody's subconscious differently. I'm happy to say that I have made it out perfectly intact and sane and based. But we can't say the same for everyone, including Marco Cat, who made this goated video. Shouts out, I'm just kidding. Thank you guys for watching my reaction. Do you think that we should make Charlie the Steak Part 2 comeback collab with Fortnite? I think we need the full rollout. Come on, Charlie!